Now that we have created our rule page, let's now go ahead and start showing and scrolling through our rules. So here, let's close all. Here, open the rules, Livewire component. In here, we first have to pass the rules. So get, now let's also pass this post in here. Now, since we're also going to open the post, when we click, let's also copy this from the home, this close model, paste it there, and import these attributes, Livewire attributes on. Alright, after doing that, for now, we can simply go to our Rails in the blade here, resources, views, Livewire, Rails. In here, let's start designing our blade file. Here, let's say large x8 my5 overflow hidden. In here, I'm gonna have a list overflow x hidden. But in here, actually, in the UL element, let's have a height, custom height, equals on calc, open bracket. You can say 100 vh underscore hyphen underscore -1 rem. All right. In here, I'm gonna have a list class. It calls 12 and a gap of 4. But inside this list, we're gonna have two div elements, left and right. So this one can be left, or rather main and action. Here in the main, we're gonna have a div. It's gonna be core, span 11, flex. Let's see here, background, black, and the border. Right here, let's wrap this list in for each. At for each, your posts as post. Get that, put it after this list. Now here we can say X video. You can add a source, make it. Actually, here let's do the same thing we did before. Here add at PHP cover post here. First is the cover. So now here you can say cover here in the source URL after getting this cover inside the for each. After that, here just add some attributes. We can say controls true, cover false. Now let's add the actions here on the right side. On the actions, this side div, core, justify end. We're gonna push this to the bottom. Right now, if we, let's go try and see how it is looking like. Awesome. Now, see, we're getting something like this. Here we only have one row for now. So we can go ahead and try to create, let's add one more row here. Let's refresh this. Scroll, you see, we're now viewing this, but it's not quite looking good. So let's go ahead and figure out that. Right here, in our list, here in the list, make sure it's snap, center. Right, after adding that, so let's go to our video. In the video, make sure that here it's 800, max height 800, and add something like M, margin auto. Right now, if we go back, refresh the page. Awesome. Now the video is centered and it's still showing full screen. And here, if I scroll, you see now getting this snap scroll, which is working fine. Here, go back to the rails in the blade. And here, change this max. The height, calculate, subtract -5 rem. That will give us a bit of a scroll so that we can see the next row before we scroll. Now if I refresh that, then if I snap, you see our row is now snapping. Alright, now after adding that, now on the right side we're gonna have some kind of controls here. So let's go ahead and add those. Alright, so here on our actions, for this we can simply go to our item, here in the item. This one, Livewire view item post. In here, we also have an actions here in the footer. Yes, in here we have these actions. So we can simply copy everything inside here. We're gonna need all this exactly the same. All right, so copy this one inside the actions in our post item. Go back to the rows, paste it there. You're gonna have a few changes, of course, because here, as you can see, we have this post. And the good thing is that we're inside our post as we loop in here. So now for this, we're gonna use this toggle post like. Since we're currently looping through these posts, we can simply pass post ID to here, and then I'm gonna call it in the backend. So for now, simply add post ID, copy this, paste it there. We're doing this just to avoid, writing duplicate code. And then come down here to the bookmarks of favorite, here toggle post favorite, paste that, and paste that. I think that's it for the attributes. I'm gonna work at the backend later. For now, if you look at this, we go back, refresh the page. You see, we're getting this here on the right. Here down here, you see we're getting this thing. So let's just customize this a little bit. Make sure I just change this width to 8. There to 8. Down here, change allow commenting. This width 7. Right, and then down here in the favorite, make sure I change this to negative margin left px. Right, because when I move it like a little bit to the left like this. So now if we refresh this, for example, all right, it's looking much better now. And just one last thing here. Yeah, here at the bottom, I'm gonna add one last span element and call this one settings. All right, I'll work on this later. But for now, here inside these elements, for example, here, let's wrap this inside the span. This post like. Actually, let's make it a div. So here type div flex item center. Cut that. Here at the bottom, we're gonna have h6. Okay, let's make the text small. Inside here, we're gonna get there. Since this is like, let's say post likers count. All right, we can do the same here. Just copy this one. Hit the comments. Inside this if allows commenting, this button. Paste that. Close it after this button. All right, so after adding that, now in here, after this button, we're not going to add something like view comments. So you can just copy this, put it down here after the button, and here change to comments count. Add a hyphen there. So in here now, when we go refresh that, you see we're now showing here 0 comments, 2 likes. There are 1 like, 0 comments. So now when we click here, we're gonna get an error because we don't have this toggle post like method yet. Let's go ahead and add that. We can simply go to our item again. Let's open our item post. In here, let's just copy these 2 methods. Copy this, close the item, go to the rows, then paste those methods here. But in here, since we are dealing with multiple posts, not just one post, so we cannot use this post. Here, since we are passing an ID, we can simply get the post model, inject that, their post, and then we're going to use this post from our, as a parameter here. To remove this, do the same thing down here. Just copy that here. Then remove this post, just leave post, this one. All right, so now if you go and refresh the page, awesome. Now here, if I click here, this should work. You see now we have 3 likes. And if I go there and say, hello, this has been added. Now if I go, you see now we have 1 comment there, which is showing. So our toggle is working fine and perfect. Now here, if we also click on save this post, we can also save it. If I refresh the page, it's still gonna be saved down here. Okay, so now one last thing here, if you see this snap scroll is working fine, but it is not really working as I want it to work, or rather the way it's supposed to work. So in here, let's go back. In here, in our reels blade file, let's remove this margin Y5, and here let's move this flex core. Let's just copy it, not rather move it. Paste it here, and here add my auto. This will force this list to center, and also here add my auto height full. This is not going to force this element to center. Now if we go refresh the page, you see now we have a centered here on top, here equal space and down equal space. Now if we refresh, it's not going to snap and scroll efficiently and much better like that. So that's it for this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.